But after that with T-Roy happened, y'all, I promise you, man, like, that corrupted folks. It was almost like he lost his whole way of life.
I have shot multiple times. Critical condition. The location is that 45 on the front porch. A couple to the head, one to the neck, arm, head, and more than likely that's where he was when he was shot.
Why is they saying that HK? Y'all know his homie killed him, man. Y'all know HK got backdoor'd, man. That's not my work, man. Stop saying that's my fucking work, man.
I don't know nothing.
Listen.
I don't know nothing.
You talking to me? This ain't no snitch shit.
Bro.
I just need
to. Real stuff, bro.
I just need. That's what I'm telling you.
Ain't no snitch.
That's what I'm telling you. No. Listen, what I'm saying.
Right, bro.
He don't know nothing. Listen.
Okay.
Be advised, victim on the porch is extremely critical.
Yo, face! Show your face, please, with sugar on top!
Now, many people may have heard of King Von, his best friend T-Roy, which is why after T-Roy passed, Von would go on to call himself V-Roy in remembrance of his best friend. Now, T-Roy lost his life while in the store, as it's being alleged that he was out looking for his ops. He would be in the store when he was spotted by guys who he was into it with, as they all surrounded him. That's when another individual would later walk into the store and at point blank range shoot T-Roy dead in his chest. T-Roy would stay in the store as the suspects fled, and he fought for his life until the paramedics came. As he was taken to the hospital, later on he would tragically pass away due to his injuries, and this would spark something into his younger brother, who went by the name of HK. Now, some say that HK wasn't in the streets, although he was familiar with them. Yes, he hung around the guys and knew of them as well as they knew him. However, after his brother passed away, he would make it his business to get revenge for his brother, and even go as far as getting revenge when he would be the one that did take the life of his brother's killer. But as y'all know, there's always a crazy cycle within the drill community where these guys take lives but get theirs taken, whether it's through avenging or revenging, and it just repeats itself over and over, and the cycle go on to this day. I bring that up because shortly after he would avenge his brother's death, AK will end up losing his life over what some say was a robbery, while others say it was due to a robbery, while others would say that it was due to a backdoor. To this day, from the outside looking in, there's no clear confirmation if HK was unalive while he was involved in the robbery, or if it was an old robbery that he was confronted about, or if it was a backdoor situation. But some do believe that it was a man from lled City by the name of Lemon that may have unalive HK over a robbery that happened prior. Here's a post taken from Reddit explaining the rumors surrounding his death, as it is stated, quote, "Word around the streets is that Lemonhead from lled City was the man who unalived OBlock HK. It is unclear which was the true motive for Lemon unaliving HK. One day prior, Nuki from lled City was unalived. One wild rumor is that HK had some involvement in the death of Nuki, which many believe was a backdoor by MTV members. Another common rumor was that Lemon unalived HK after HK tried to rob Lemon inside an apartment in OBlock. The third rumor that rang for Lemon unaliving HK was that HK robbed Lemon prior, and Lemon confronted HK about it when HK upped his firearm first, but Lemon unalived him. lled City and OBlock are both BD sets that are cool with each other. Many members have family ties, so for Lemon to be inside Parkway isn't strange. Not to mention, the block was jumping due to there being a big party. It was confirmed via the FOIA of White Girl MOB that McAdoo 600 was present with HK, and it is rumored he was with 2 other people. Duke is close to the brain dead BDs from lled City, and a lot of members from OBlock are still cool with them, which is why HK's sister was angry at HK's homies for being cool with lled City, and especially some members being cool with Lemon. Now, we're not sure once again who he did rob, if he really did rob Lemonhead, or if it was just a civilian, but there has been a running rumor that he did in fact rob somebody and was allegedly unalived by a civilian. Whether that's true or not, a lot of people are saying that during his unaliving, he was trying to rob somebody. And allegedly he was with 600 members, so if they are saying that McAdoo was with him, it's a strong possibility that maybe the rumors are true. This is also where the rumors come from in reference to allegedly McAdoo 600 having something to do with it, because not only was he allegedly there, but fans realized quick that right after the news came out about 600 McAdoo passing away in prison, HK affiliates would begin posting them. As y'all know, in Chicago, people may not speak much on bodies, but they sure do throw hints, especially by posting people who were victims whenever someone who is rumored to have something to do with their death passes away themselves. HK's sister has been very vocal as well when it comes to his passing, believing wholeheartedly that he was backdoored by his so-called friends. In a series of tweets after he passed away, she would tweet, quote, "Every time I think about my brothers, especially Hakeem, and how a MF backdoored him, I see red and be thinking about killing a MF. Hank could still be alive if he ain't hang with haters. Hashtag facts. Y'all know that though. N-words don't go after they ops no more. They snake their friends. Hashtag long live Hank. Keep y'all grass cut. Ninjas out here snaked out. No bull-ish. Hashtag long live Hank. It's so much ish I be wanting to say, but I'ma just shut the F up." Then she would take it to an Instagram story post as she would say, quote, "MF can't really F with my brother, but still F with the ninjas who had something to do with him not being here. P." So was it a civilian or was it Lemonhead? I'm assuming that only the people that's closest to the situation and these guys will know what really happened. But when it comes to posts like this one from Ide, who hints towards not being able to trust people, would make it seem like HK's death was a backdoor situation, being that he hints to not being able to trust anybody. Now on another note, HK, who was not only blood brothers with OBlock T-Roy, but he was also brothers with OBlock Slutty, who tragically lost his life trying to protect King Von the very night that King Von was unalive back in November of 2020. So unfortunately, their mother lost all three of her children, HK, T-Roy, and Slutty, due to gun violence in Chicago. This is a very unfortunate situation that many parents have faced in Chicago, whether it's privately or publicly. So we're going to get into the video explaining the life and death of OBlock HK, a normal kid turned savage after losing his brother, forcing him to want to get back, but lost his life shortly after he actually did. So shout out to Funa for the video. I'll leave a link to the original video pinned in the comments so you guys can go to their platform and show some love. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hype the video so we can get into the algorithm, and if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now.
What would you do for a loved one? If someone killed the person you loved most and the police refused to arrest them, would you take matters into your own hands? Well, the subject of today's video was forced to answer that very question. The subject of today's video allegedly became a cold-blooded killer following the death of his brother and allegedly went on a crazy vengeance spree for him, similar to the movies Kill Bill or John Wick.
And you know what's crazy, right? The thing about this is a lot of guys, whether you in the hood or wherever, a lot of them fell victim to this same thing where they were chilling. They wasn't no type of gangsters. And even if they was, it wasn't like they were out here catching bodies left and right. However, there was a definite family where they feel like they was rebelling or they had to do something because nobody else was. You got to remember, these guys got every bit of their brothers, their cousins, their uncles, sometimes their fathers, sometimes their children. They lose their life and they feel like there's no hope because the cops ain't going to do nothing, especially in Chicago. So sometimes they say, you know what, I'm going to take matters into my own hand. And this is similar to the other guy by the name of No Limit Drench, right? Or Wet 'em Up, whatever you want to call him, where they unalived his father and within hours, this man allegedly, because he wasn't convicted for it or nothing, but it's alleged that he went and unalived at least 4 people within hours of his father passing away. Crazy.
The subject of today's video is none other than HK, and today we're going to be telling his story. But before we get into the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. HK, real name Hakeem Murray, was from the south side of Chicago. More specifically, he grew up in the Parkway Gardens complex on 64th and King Drive, better known as OBlock. He was the younger brother of an OBlock member named Slutty and the younger brother of another OBlock member named T-Roy. T-Roy had a crazy reputation in the streets and was known for allegedly being one of OBlock's top shooters. OBlock primarily consists of Black Disciples and beasts with sets such as STL/EBT, 051 Young Money, Taekwon World, MOB, and Jarl City.
You know another thing nobody talks about? Nobody talk about the fact that younger brothers tend to follow in their older brothers' footsteps. And sometimes it's like peer pressure, especially in the hood, to where if your older brother was known as like one of the crazy steppers, he was just one of them guys, you start to think mentally, whether people really think this or not, but you start to think mentally that you have to be just like him so they don't call you soft or something like that. So these guys end up being something they really not, or doing things they really don't want to do, trying to live in their bigger siblings' footsteps.
OBlock is allied with sets such as 600, Front Street, THF 46, and Lamron. HK's brother T-Roy tried to keep him out of the streets and make sure that he stayed on the right path. Well, eventually, tragedy would strike, and this would allegedly cause HK to jump into the streets head first.
Damn.
On February 14th, 2017, just before noon, T-Roy, real name James Troy Johnson, was inside of a store in the 2000 block of East 71st Street. As T-Roy was standing around in the store, a member of Taekwon World named TB and a member of STL named Get Right entered the store and walked up to him. TB then proceeded to pull out a gun and shot T-Roy in the chest.
Now, if y'all pay attention, right, this is probably going to be one of the biggest mysteries that go down in drill history. Because to this day, I wonder, what were they doing right here? Right? When you pay attention to this surveillance video that they have of the time or the last moments of T-Roy, he's in the store where his ops pretty much are located, because they said that he was out op hunting. For y'all that don't know what it means, basically he was out there trying to catch one of his ops slipping. I guess he went to the store for whatever reason. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have had made that move, because at the end of the day, I can't be comfortable here, right? I don't know if one of the ops might come in here and catch me. But they're also saying, allegedly, that I think that he was trying to get his phone charged or something like that. Not sure. But however, he was in that store. They caught him. But at this point right here, it's like they're just sitting and talking, right? We don't know what the audio is. We don't know none of that. But it's like they was just standing there, and we don't know what's being said until finally another individual, in which I'm pretty sure he's going to say their names, but he comes in and just shoot him square in the chest. And then that was it. But I'm sure that T-Roy had his firearm on him, so I'm trying to realize or understand, why didn't he shoot or try to do something? Like, what was going on? What was being spoken about?
T-Roy was taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital, where he was tragically pronounced dead at just 23 years old. The whole shooting was caught on camera, and Get Right was not wearing a mask in the surveillance footage. In fact, TB and Get Right had pictures of themselves on social media showing them wearing the exact same outfits that they had on when they killed T-Roy on camera.
Now y'all gotta remember, these guys were every bit of kids, right? And we know this by the actions that they took. And this is one of them, right? Because why in the world would you think to have on the same exact outfit that you had on when you unalive somebody in a store, knowing that more than likely there is surveillance somewhere in that store? But forget all that. If you know that you are possibly a part of an investigation because somebody definitely passed away while you was in the store, and you know you was with the shooter, you know you are the shooter, why would you take pictures and post it on the internet in the same attire?
You would think this would be an easy open and shut case for the police, but in typical chiraq fashion, neither TB or Get Right were ever arrested for it, even though it was so blatantly obvious that they did it. Following T-Roy's death, members of OBlock and the sets that they were allied with swore revenge. This would lead to the creation of a Get Back gang, a crew filled with shooters determined to avenge T-Roy. People close to HK state that losing T-Roy is what really made HK cold-blooded. Endless bloodshed would occur in 2017, and HK would allegedly find himself at the center of it. On June 16, 2017, a member of Taekwon World named Poppy, real name Sherrod Rhyme, was standing outside of the store he was working at in the 7000 block of South State, helping a lady with her bags when a dark-colored vehicle pulled up and a gunman hopped out. The gunman then proceeded to shoot him in the head. Poppy was taken to Stroger Hospital, where he was tragically pronounced dead at just 18 years old. It is widely rumored that HK was allegedly the gunman in this incident. Poppy was TV's best friend and a beloved member of Taekwon World, so Get Back Gang came after him. Shortly after this incident, HK and Get Back Gang would allegedly carry out another brazen broad daylight attack.
Now, could you think, right? Sit here and try to imagine that you trying to do the right thing. And this is why a lot of people say, oh, these guys need to get jobs. And how many of these guys tried to do that route and they ended up dead? Right? How many of these guys we've heard of was either caught while they was at work, leaving work, going to school? You see the two kids who allegedly, well, we can't even say alleged no more because they say that if Bloodhound Little Jeff was here, he would be basically convicted for the M. But these two guys was coming out for their lunch break in school and was shot and unalive. So this is why a lot of these guys, they done dropped out of school early. They don't got no jobs, and the only resort that they have is basically selling drugs, scamming, or some type of hustle because they can't afford to lose their life by going to anybody's job or anybody's school.
On July 17, 2017, two members of STL named Kobe, real name Stanley Jacoby Mack, and Brick, real name Jermaine Robinson, were in the 6300 block of South St. Lawrence when multiple cars pulled up. Gunmen hopped out and shot Kobe instantly. Brick ran away and tried to hop a fence when he was shot multiple times in the back. Both of them were tragically pronounced dead on the scene. Kobe was just 31 years old and Brick was just 26 years old. Brick was actually the brother of famous Chicago rapper FBG Duck. It is widely rumored that HK was allegedly one of the gunmen in this incident. A little over 2 months later, HK would allegedly finally catch the person that killed his brother.
Now, aside from that, right? Shout out to Mama Duck. We don't know how true this is, but they are saying that, if I'm not mistaken, that FBG Brick was either met in the alley by somebody. What it's like is they set it up to where somebody chased him down, but somebody was also in the alley, the gangway, waiting. Not sure how true it is, but if I'm not mistaken, Mama Duck said one of those stories to where she feel that maybe he was set up. Who knows? But at the end of the day, they said that Brick went to a car, the same car that they're saying is responsible for having the shooters inside. So if he did, obviously he knew somebody within that car. And that's been a running mystery for a long time, but I'm sure people who are closer to the situation or maybe in the inside, they know what's going on. But as far as the public, we're clueless.
Last shot multiple times. Critical condition. Location is that? 45 on the front porch. A couple to the head, one to the neck, arm, lead, and more than likely that's where he was when he was shot. Be advised, victim on the porch is extremely critical.
On September.
Now, you hear what he said, right? The victim on the porch is extremely very critical. And when he was describing basically the bullets and where they went, he said it was a couple in the head and some in his neck. Now, guess what? That sounds personal, correct? That's because it was. He caught his brothers unalive, and at the end of the day, that's why he went on that rampage in the first place. So what did you think was going to happen to the same person that actually did it to his brother? That sounded personal. That sounded every bit of maybe he probably kicked him, spit on him after the whole 9 yards. But he finally caught the guy that he was looking for, and he let him have it.
26, 2017, TB, real name Terry Berry, and another person were in the 7000 block of South Chapel Avenue when a gunman pulled up and opened fire. TB was shot multiple times, including in the head, and was tragically pronounced dead at Northwestern Hospital at just 21 years old. The other person he was with was also shot in the head and was taken to Stroger Hospital in critical condition, but they ultimately survived their injuries. It is widely believed that HK was allegedly the gunman in this incident. Just 2 months after allegedly completing his revenge story, HK would lose his life.
See? So, as y'all seen in the intro when I told y'all that this is a crazy cycle. Because, yeah, he got get back, but he ended up losing his life just 2 months after, y'all. Some say karma. Some say it's just another cycle that goes round and round in Chicago. But at the end of the day, these are just crazy stories how these bodies was dropping back in the day. Where a lot of people don't understand that a lot of families, not just the victims, but the families were affected. A lot of people around were affected. A lot of these guys now, these days, are either traumatized or numb to the pain because they done felt it so much.
On November 24th, 2017, HK, a member of 600 named McAdoo, and another member of 600 named Little D were in OBlock when they spotted a random civilian wearing gold chains and a nice jacket. The group then confronted him, telling him that he's not from there, and pulled out a gun in an attempt to rob him. The civilian then pulled out his own gun and shot at them in self-defense. According to police paperwork, either HK or one of the people he was with shot back, but ultimately, HK was shot multiple times. HK was taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital, where he was tragically pronounced dead at just 22 years old. The civilian was able to get off as it was ruled self-defense. Man, stories like this just show you how crazy Chicago is. People committing murders in broad daylight on camera and not getting arrested. You know, this is really a philosophical question. Is it worth it to get revenge? You know, it can be maddening to lose someone you love and the police do nothing about it, so you want to take it into your own hands, but it doesn't bring that person back. You have to ask yourself, is the revenge worth possibly putting a target on your back and risking your freedom?
Now, the crazy part is this, right? Some people may say, yes, it's worth it. Because if the police is not doing anything, then guess what? I gotta do something. Some people let the grief get a hold of them, and I get it. But just understand that you play a very dangerous game and nobody wins. Because here how it go, right? Let's say you lose a loved one. After you lose that loved one, now you end up getting revenge. But after you get revenge, you may go to jail or you may get unalived by somebody else trying to seek revenge for what you did to their loved one, right? So it's like a weird cycle, but at the end of the day, just know that if you do get caught for catching a body, whether you're trying to catch revenge or whatever it is, the judge don't want to hear that. So instead of doing something positive for your family and try to change the trajectory, now you go to jail for a whole long time, sometimes even life, and you can't do nothing for your family. So yeah, you got revenge, but now your life is over as well, which is kind of crazy. Now, I seen a post on Reddit, shout out to Reddit, that was kind of interesting and kind of inspired this whole video. It'll be a picture of AK and his brother T-Roy, as it will state, quote, "It's sad how life works. T-Roy beat someone up for trying to influence HK, spends his time trying to keep his younger brother out of the violence and ended up getting murdered. HK fully jumped off the porch to avenge his brother, killed his brother killer, and ended up getting murdered. Rest in peace, both." Now it is crazy. T-Roy didn't want his brother getting into the streets. After T-Roy got unalived, his brother went in the streets, and he went full-fledged. He ended up getting his brother's killer, but right after he ended up getting his brother killer, 2 months later, he got killed. So at the end of the day, who won? The cycle of the streets strike again. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out. Are you tired of a bunch of social media gurus promising you results with their course, but all they do is take a bunch of information off YouTube and Google, then sell it to you? Well, look no further. Our YouTube Tips and Tricks Masterclass course comes equipped with SEO tips and tricks, along with methods we use to growth hack our YouTube channel. It also includes step-by-step ways to publish your video before uploading to guarantee a great SEO score, Therefore, your videos can rank and be shown to a bigger audience. Views and subscribers don't come by luck, and just how YouTube have an algorithm, you should have one as well that can guarantee you results. We doing websites and softwares we personally use to generate money creating Faces YouTube channels. If you also would like to skip the process and just buy other pre-built accounts, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, we also threw that in there for you too. We went through trial and error, so you don't have to. Click the link in the description or the comments and get started today.